Good morning. It is Thursday, January the 9th, and it is 10 degrees Fahrenheit outside. For anyone that's new to the channel, I'm Wilson. That sounds like a last name, but it's my first name. And right now, I'm on my way out to the barn to give the cows some hay, since they haven't had any yet this morning. And yeah, so that's what I'm going to start with. Hope you enjoy the video. And yeah, I'm going to get started. And now with the cows happy eating their feed, I can continue to the main subject of the video, which is getting firewood to heat the house. We heat our house 100% with firewood during the winter. We have 2 wood burning stoves, and it keeps the house pretty warm, and we enjoy doing it because it's free heat. But before I can do that, I need to unload firewood off the back of my truck that I had gotten earlier this week and split into the woodshed. The truck is cold this morning, so I'm gonna have to give it a second to heat up before I back it in. Now, as far as my lifetime goes, this was always a woodshed. And when Lydia got chickens many years back, it became her chicken house. But since Lydia moved out a little over a month ago, she sold all of her chickens, and it has been converted back to a woodshed. And a residence for the ducks, which are being very noisy. So I have to talk over them. But yeah. Now, I'm going to unload the wood that is on the back of the truck into the woodshed so I can go and get more. Hello, Buford. We got Pops and Buford with us. We're stopped at the new shed to load up our tools to go to the woods.
Oh, I need to go get some fuel for the other stuff.
Oh, the battery? For his birthday, Dad got a new DeWalt electric chainsaw that he's really enjoyed. So he'll be using that, and I'll be using my old Husqvarna 445. That still works very, very well. Had it for probably 5 years at least now, and always starts, always works. Buford. Hop in. I do not. Hey buddy, how you doing? How you doing? Yeah, we're going to the woods. You like the woods, Buford. You like the woods. Alright, sit down. Sit down. Not on me. Not on me, Buford. Not on me. Not on me. Buford. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down in your chair. Buford. Sit in your chair. That's a good boy. That's a good boy. Hey. You're in the way. Perfect. Back up. You're a silly boy. Buford likes to sniff out the window, take in all the smells. He's a good beagle. Now I've got a dog on me. Be careful. Be careful. How are you today, farmer?
I'm good. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. What is that dog doing?
He's standing in the window. I got my hand on him. Buford, come back in. Go back to your seat. You sit.
In two-wheel drive?
You should be in two-wheel drive. Buford, you sit. Thank you.
Coming up on one of several of last year's brush piles that need to be burned. But given the fact that Los Angeles is burning now, perhaps we'll hold off on that for a bit.
Wow.
Lest we replicate the situation here.
We are now entering the woods.
The portion of the woods that we call the sugar woods.
And why do we call it the sugar woods?
Because it's full of maple trees that every now and then we tap for syrup. We were much more enthusiastic about it when the children were all younger, but like every first timer, you quickly find out how much work it actually is.
That's for sure. Takes a long time.
And the activity has kind of waned since then. Although Paul and Lydia boiled sap last year and made syrup.
Yep. Now we are looking for, ideally, a dead elm tree.
Oh, we scouted out a couple of them last time when we were leaving.
Yep, up on the hill. Buford, of course, likes being in the woods. He likes running around, chasing bunny rabbits.
Likes being in the woods. Who wouldn't like being
Buford,
in the woods?
off my lap. How many times must I tell you? You sit in your own seat. Good boy. We have a fallen tree here we could cut up.
Beautiful conditions here for mid-January in Wisconsin. Ground is nice and hard because it's frozen, obviously, but there's no snow to hamper our movement. Of course, if we were professional farmers, not really farmers, if we were just professional planters, our wood pile would be so huge right now that we'd be sitting around wondering what it is we could do because there's no wood to get. But because we have many other irons in the fire, we end up flying by the seat of our pants every winter. But we haven't gone cold yet. All right, let's get to work.
You don't have to put gas in your saw.
No. Everything has its pros and its cons.
Yep.
I really like the electric saw more than I thought I would. It's got many good features to it. But the bad feature, of course, is that when the battery's dead, we're done sawing wood. It's not like I can just pour more battery into it. Well, I could if I had another one, but I have only the one so far. And these 60-volt batteries don't come cheap, so...
No, they do not. For anyone reading camp fuel on my can here, this is not camp fuel. This is 50-to-1 mixed gas. We just put it in the camp fuel can. So don't be worried that I'm putting camp fuel in my chainsaw. If I can get the cap on here with one hand. There we go. Can I get that oil?
Yep. That's a machine could use just to get it.
Yep. Once I get this
Why don't you let me do this for
cap
you?
off. And full.
Alright, we'll have the old DeWalt electric saw cut a tree down. This obviously is probably not the type of lumber work that these electric saws were made for. In fact, the children bought it for me for use at the sawmill, which is the perfect use for it because once in a while we'll be cutting up a log or put a log on that has a branch sticking out that some lumberman forgot to cut off. So rather than pulling out the gas chainsaw and yanking and yanking and yanking to get it started just so you can make one quick cut, this is much easier. Push the button, she turns on, let go of the button, she's off. So the beauty of an electric saw is that it's running only when you need it to cut something. So let's see if she can cut the tree down.
Which direction are you dropping this tree?
I'm gonna go that way, more or less.
Little rotted at the top. Little rotted at the stump too.
Been dead for obviously a few years. The bark has all fallen off already, but it's pretty solid, and you can pop it right in the stove and she'll burn nice and hot. Ever since the Dutch elm disease set in here in, I would guess, the late 1960s, we've had a solid crop of trees that grow up to about this big. They die. Elm trees grow up to about this big and die, and instant firewood for us. So tree disease is not always the worst thing in the world.
try to leave the bark in the woods rather than taking that home. Because typically on these dead trees, the bark is about ready to fall off anyways. So I try to pull it off the best I can before taking it to the truck. I'm just going to take a moment to brag here while I walk back to the truck. When I started this thing, that first pull, that was a first pull start in, 3 days or so. And again, it's no more than 15 degrees out here. That surprised me. That doesn't often happen. And catching on camera was definitely a treat.
Okay, this pile that you see here is all that an electric 16-inch saw can do on one charge of the 60-volt battery. Obviously, for a guy who's feeling good in the woods and wants to go, that's a pretty pitiful amount. But it's a sizable log, and you get that split, that's going to be quite a bit of firewood. So it is what it is. I mean, I'm pleased with it. It's probably not what these saws were created for, and it's not why I have it. Like I said, it's for use on the sawmill for cutting the limb off every now and then when it needs to. And I'm not sure what it costs since it was a gift to me. Do you have any idea, Wilson?
Oh, with a battery, probably around 300. I'm not sure.
Okay, so I mean, it's a significant cost. If I had to go out and buy it myself, even though I wanted one for a long time, it's certainly not a purchase I would have made, because there's always something I can spend $300 on other than a luxury for me. But I'm glad I have it. And
would you say it's worth the money?
To me it is, because it's not my main saw. I mean, the gas saw obviously gets the work done hour after hour after hour, but it's a handy tool to have. And if I had more batteries, it would go forever, but the batteries are the most expensive part. The batteries are probably more expensive than the saw itself.
That's for sure. If you get the big batteries. That's a 3 amp hour 60-volt battery. And of course, DeWalt's flex volt batteries also work on their 20-volt line of tools. So that specific 3 amp hour flex volt would now be a 9 amp hour if you put it in one of the 20 volt tools.
And it's worth it to us since we have a lot of electric tools. My other really good tools that I like, other than the construction tools, we have a pole saw, electric pole saw, which is an awesome tool to have around here, I mean. And the weed whacker, which is probably my favorite battery tool. Because boy, if you're trying to trim the lawn in the hot summertime, there's nothing worse than fighting with the stupid weed whacker that won't start. The electric one starts whenever you pull the trigger. And now if it would have a 60 amp battery in there, it would run a lot longer. So if there are any youngsters out there wondering whether or not they should get one of these or wishing that they could afford one, I would suggest considering getting married and having children. After you spend thousands and thousands on them, they grow up, start earning money, and they can buy you something cool like this. So, go for it. left, Wilson told me to bring my sound deadening earmuffs, but I didn't hear them.
Well, that's going to be it for this video. We need to get back to the farm and get going on our other dairy farm chores for today. If you aren't subscribed and you would like to, please subscribe and leave a like on the video. That would help me out. And that's going to be it. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.